What is this Z06 like to drive? And since it's my car, I'm gonna let Calvin kind of lead this to give you kind of the perspective of that you would have, you know, if you were first driving it, like a first kind of review kind of thing. So I'm gonna let Calvin drive and let him kind of lead, and I'll just add in because I drive it every day, so I can add in wherever I need to, whatever. So I'll let Calvin take it away.
So the first thing I noticed just coming out of that parking lot is that this is definitely a pure sports car. I hear every single like rock, everything that hits like the bottom of this car.
Right.
Coming around some curves now, it's smooth. Like I was telling you the first time I drove it, I do feel like the steering is more direct than I expected it to be. Like I didn't have high hopes for the steering in this car. I kind of figured, you know, it's an American car. They finally got the numbers part of it right, and they got a few other things right, but I didn't expect it to have a good steering feel. And it doesn't have a great steering feel, but it's definitely better than you would expect from an American car. The power is so much that it's like you're kind of scared to go on the throttle too much, because it's like you know what's gonna happen as soon as you go to that throttle. Like we know what's gonna happen. You're going to spin the tires and you just might die. You're probably gonna die.
If you take traction control, if you take all the nannies off on this car, what you think gonna happen? How long do you think it's gonna last if you take all the nannies off?
10 seconds, dude. Because think about it, like right here, if I was to hit this car right now with traction control on in eco mode, if I was to nail this car right now, I would sit here and spin. In eco mode.
I can attest to that too, owning the car, especially when I first started driving it. It is not confidence inspiring as far as the throttle. Like it's like super nerve wracking. You feel like you're gonna die.
Cause it's just so much power. I think that's the biggest thing. There's a learning curve with this type of car. To go from, you went from an Audi with the tune, what, 450 horsepower? And it was car weight like, what, 4,100 pounds. This weighs 30, what, 35? 3,600 pounds. And has 650. It's a learning curve. Like, I don't think it's the car's fault. I think it's just we're not used to driving this type of power every day. Because I mean, like people like Randy Popes, I mean, who do this for a living, they can handle it. The average cat, you're gonna die.
But if you watch the Motor Trend, even Randy Popes was like, whoa, sometimes.
Yeah,
he was like, because think about it, that CLS that's tuned has just as much power, but I bet it didn't feel as
very true.
Scary.
That's very true.
And a Hellcat like, has just as much power, but a Hellcat doesn't feel as scary, does it?
It's pretty close. Yeah. Pretty close. Boy, be handling these curves, boy. Be handling them curves. It's so planted. It's so planted. There's no body roll. It's so much grip. It came around there perfectly. Only thing I wish is the steering was a little bit better. Just a little bit. Not even a whole lot better. Just a little bit better. Like a dollop more steering. Just a dollop.
A dollop of steering?
A dollop of steering. That's all I want. Is just a little bit. I don't want it to handle like, you know, I feel like it needs to retain a little bit of that American muscle feel, and that it's a little bit loose, and that it scares you a little bit. But I want it to be a little bit more refined. Just a little bit.
So our handling is let's give everything a score. So 1 out of 10, let's go handling.
The handling itself, 10. Handles very well. The steering feel, 6. But the handling itself is a 10.
Okay.
Only mark I would give against the handling has to do with the powertrain, because there's so much power. You could never fully exploit this car on the street. Right. Like, you know how in my M3, I can come out of a curve full throttle and I'm like,
foot to the floor.
Yeah, you're not coming out of anywhere full throttle in this car. Nope. That's the only thing I would say I don't like about the way this car feels driving. I can't exploit all of it. I just can't, because as soon as I put my foot down, I'm out of traction.
Right. On the street, if you come anywhere near the limits of this car, either you or someone around you is going to get injured, or you're going to jail.
Yep.
One of the two things. I put up 3 fingers. Not gonna talk about that. One of those two things is going to happen.
Yep.
You just can't get to the limits. You just can't do it.
Nope. And that's the only issue I have with cars like this is that I can't get to the limit of it. But
Upshift, boy.
You can do that though.
Tell them about that
That
upshift.
braking is amazing too. I love the way the upshift sound. Yeah, the upshift like when you hit it and you let it hit red line and upshift into that gear, it sounds angry. Like it's like a print, like right at the end of it. It's like it spit out something. Yep. I haven't touched the paddle yet. Which, by the way, I want to point that out too, because I always say that about certain transmissions. Like my dual clutch in my M3 is horribly programmed in automatic mode. This is actually pretty good. I mean, it's a nice car to drive around in. Like as a young guy, I'm 24, D's 23. At this age, we don't care about comfort that much. So this is cool. Like if you're at the point where you're 23, 24, 25, and you can afford a car like this, there's really no reason that the comfort would not be a reason not to get it. Like it sits low. You have to pretty much fall into it and roll out of it.
Right.
But, you know, we're 24. Who gives a crap? You know what I'm saying? We don't care. We're not trying to be super comfortable. We don't care about the height. We don't have bad knees, bad backs. Just get in the thing and ride out.
Like, I don't want to be that cat that's old in a vet. Like, this is not the car for when you're 70, dog.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting in and out of this and you 70,
Yeah, you
dog?
got bad knees and stuff.
Man, nah, but your hips bad, your joints.
Nah, because even now, like, imagine, like, leaving the gym and hopping in here. Like, you done had a good leg
Oh, it's
day.
horrible. I've done it before.
Well, you're not, you're not getting in
Man,
here, bro.
Handling, we talked about that. Now, acceleration, obviously. I mean, I'm just going to ask, what do you give it, 1 to 10?
I'm going to give it an 8 because it's so scary.
Okay.
Because if you get in like a Turbo S, which will accelerate just as fast as this, you can do it all day and be fine.
Right.
So I will drive, but you can do it all day and be fine. Even there's a cop behind us. Even a McLaren, you can get into a McLaren that's, I think McLaren's a rear wheel drive, right?
Right.
I've never driven one, but I'd be willing to bet you could drive a McLaren and go all out and not be as terrified as you are in this car. I do like it though. I will say this, I like it more than I want to.
Really?
I like it a lot more than I want to. I'm not an American car guy fan. Like, I'm not an American car fan at all. I respect them, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm always the type that's like, you know, American cars are the best for the money. I will tell you that every day, all day, every day. But I am not an American car fan because of the lack of refinement. However, the lack of refinement all melts away when you drive this car because it's just so much fun. It's just so good.
And it looks so good.
Yeah, it's just, man, I'm telling you, this is one of the best looking cars on the road, period. Point blank, period, dog. Anybody who disagrees is a hater. If you disagree with this car being the best looking car on the road, one of the best looking cars on the road, you are a hater. I put it like this, and you guys know, like I said, I've said this several times, you know I'm a German car fanatic. If I was gonna go American, this would be at the top of my list. This or a Z01 would be at the top of my list. Just because this looks, cop is gone. This looks so good, and it does everything so well. Like you cannot deny the fact that this is a good car. The numbers have proven that this is a good car. You can drive it and feel that it's a good car. Only issue you have is that it's not as refined as the German stuff. But some people don't want that. Some people want that raw feeling.
And not to be something that you got to take into consideration, it costs so much less. I mean, yeah, they're better, but you're going to pay twice as much. $90,000 is nothing to scoff at. You're going to have to pay $90,000 more to get a Turbo S.
Yep.
If not more than that.
Yeah.
You know?
But see, my thing with that, and I agree with you, don't get me wrong, but my only argument to that is because the power of this car is so unusable, how fast do I need to go before the cutoff where that doesn't matter? Like, you know what I'm saying? I can get a C63 for the same price as this, right? Yeah. That's usable power. I can use that on the street and still kind of scare the crap out of myself sometimes. Whereas this, I'm always scared the crap out of myself, and I don't get the interior. I don't get the looks. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to point out, and I agree with you now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people like to point out that the Z06 can beat this, and it can beat that, and it can beat this. This is true. But can you get your behind in here and do it? You know what I mean? Can you get in here right now, get in this car, and beat somebody around the track that has even a Carrera S? Not even like a GT3. Take somebody who has a Carrera S, and you beat them in the Z06. Can you do it?
You stand no chance. Like any novice driver or even like somewhat good driver, just hop into the Z06. You're not going to be able to use the power unless you're just super skilled. Yep. I'm talking about super skilled. Yep. Like your Randy Pokes set that time,
yep.
But you're not going to come anywhere near it.
Yep.
Whereas if you got into like let's say a GTR, you could probably blow the doors off this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the GTR is all-wheel drive. It's so much easier to use the power.
Yep.
So that definitely is something to factor. But
I would say it's something to the factor.
That also makes it less fun. So it's like a catch-22. Which one do you want? You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather not die.
So you rather have a GTR?
I don't want a GTR, but I'm saying like maybe something in the middle of the two. Like a GTR pretty much drives itself. The Z06 pretty much wants to kill you. Maybe do something in the middle of the two, like Carrera S. But and that's the thing. That's what I don't like. That's why I don't like per se that argument about the Z06. Sometimes, like I get it, you have to have a standard for each car. Like you have to put your best foot forward in each car and show what it is capable of. But in the real world, I hate when people bring that argument up. Will it beat that around a Nürburgring? Can you do it? You know what I'm saying? Because you're the one driving the car.
And when are you gonna be on the Nürburgring or any
right?
track?
Like stop.
How many of y'all really go to the track?
Right.
Comment below if you really go to the track. If you've been to the track this year, then comment below. I bet it'll be like 10 people.
Right. And 5 of those will be lying.
Right. So
that's what I'm saying. So stop the argument about the track thing. While I get it, that can't be your only argument for the car. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like, if you like the car, I get it. I love the car. Like if you just like it because it's fast and looks good, say that. But don't freaking come on here and be like, oh, it gets this lap time. Nigga, you don't even go to the track.
Right. But for the purposes of this review, for the masses of people who would be looking at this car, gonna be probably a younger person. No, but a lot of old people, a lot of older cats end up in this car.
Just in general, the purposes of this review is the person who's gonna drive this car is probably not going to the track. They want to ride around. They want to look good. They want to have a little fun on the street. That's pretty much it.
For that, this car I feel is almost perfect.
Yep.
Like for its purposes, Chevy almost hit it on the head.
It looks amazing. Sounds good. It's got enough power.
Oh, we ain't talked about the sound. Stop everything. Stop everything.
Yeah,
Well, we briefly talked about the upshift, but bruh, even stock, which I have done a fuse pull, so it's a little bit louder than stock, but you don't have to do it. It's awesome.
No. And there's very few cars, especially in this time where everything's being cut back on emissions. There are very few cars out right now that you can drive and not need an exhaust.
Yep.
Very few.
Yep.
Like the freaking new M3 sounds awful.
Yep.
The C63s, they sound good, but they do not sound like them old ones did at all. Like everything is they're chopping the balls off everything.
The RS5.
RS5, it's a freaking, what's it, 2.9 liter?
2.9 liter V6.
Come on, man. Like
twin turbo, right?
They're chopping all the sound out of everything. And in that climate, Chevy is still putting this big, nasty V8. Huge V8, 6.2 liters. And a supercharger in their Corvette. And I appreciate Chevy for that.
Start waving the flag.
People be screaming about the bald eagles coming out and stuff.
Right.
This has definitely got a whole lot of bald eagles in it.
Yeah, as far as sounds, because you remember I was watching Motor Trend and the skinny dude who ain't there no more, Jason said that this was the best sounding V8 in the world. What you think about that?
Nope.
I'll say this, other than, because I mean obviously all the V8 exotics have a different sound.
Yep.
Whether or not you think it's better is up to you, but I don't think it's necessarily better, it's just different. But other than the freaking F-Type, I think this is the best sounding car. The F-Type got it. I don't think anybody can argue that the
F-Type is, yeah, it can definitely make a strong argument for the best sounding V8. This thing crazy! Oh my god! Man, this thing making me want to get one.
With this dog?
It makes me want to get one. It really
What's
does.
messing with this dog?
When it does that, it makes me want to get one. Like
when it upshifts, when it kicks you in the back of the head.
Yes, and when you nail it, that torque that snatches you every time. Look at that. Look at that. Every time you floor it, it nails you to the back of the seat, bruh. But that just crazy.
It's like there's a little animal back there, like a little elf back there, kicking you upside the head.
It's so
every time you upshift.
And that's the thing. You've heard us talk in this review about little. You heard us talk about this review about little things we don't like, little nitpicky things. None of that stuff matters when you floor it. You don't care about none of that, bruh. And that's the thing. That's the thing about this car. That's why I say I like it more than I want to. Because I hate the fact that it's not as refined. I hate the fact that the interior is not quite where it's supposed to be. But I don't care.
Yep.
When I get in it, I don't care. It's like, bruh, a trick. So when I'm doing 120, I don't know what's the interior. When I'm doing 120, I don't have time to look down at the panel gap. You know what I'm saying? Like people are like, oh, it's got panel gap. Nigga, I'm doing 205 miles per hour.
Right. That is fun. I want to mention that too. Like the fact that you can just pull up on anything. I pulled up on R8s, Huracans, anything. Literally anything can get smoked.
Yep.
Anything.
Yeah, anything you got a chance against. I mean, because nobody's gonna be driving a P1 down the highway. And even then, like, you know, they're car's not gonna race you, or if you get on the gas.
And if you went,
if you get on the gas,
Possibly. Phil.
gas before them.
P1 got it. But anything other than that,
You think you're under P1, bro?
you know, just anything, you're gonna be in the race, if not Smokey will. And y'all saw what happened to doggone Slim. His Hellcat. What up, tall guy? But you see what happened to the Hellcat.
Yeah.
But
I love the control it has. That mag ride is something serious, dude. It's so planted. Any imperfection in the road, I look, because I dude explained it to me one time, and he showed it to me. He let me drive behind somebody with mag ride. Excuse me. You can see the wheel, like, you know how you may hit something in the road, like a little imperfection in the road, and the wheel will be up.
Right.
You can see the tire get smooshed back down to the road. Like, you always have contact with the road, and that's the point of the mag ride, to keep contact with the road at all times, so you always have traction. Like, so if you hit it, you know, if you're coming around a curve, you're not having so much roll or whatever, you're consistently ready to drive the car, which you need to be in this type of power. The mag ride is awesome.
it adjusts itself thousands of times per second.
I think it's like supposedly like scans the road and figures out what it needs to do next. It's pretty advanced. I will say the mag ride cannot be disputed. Like, I respect the fact that companies are able to overcome the mag ride with your typical shock and spring combination, but just get mag ride.
Smile.
Woo!
Not a smile. A smile.
Smile.
I feel like the last thing we gotta hit that might be, it's not the worst part, I don't think. I still feel like the pedal gap is the worst thing about the car, but transmission.
So, okay, the paddle shifters. So, I haven't used them in this review, but I've driven this car before this review, and they're not good. They're not good. They're not responsive. Like, if I'm especially in normal situations, if I pull that paddle, it's like 3 seconds before it even starts to shift.
You have time to make a sandwich?
Yeah, pretty much like.
Pull the paddle, make a sandwich.
And then it's in the next gear. Like, it takes so long. Like, the actual shift is quick, but the time from me pulling the paddle to the car shifting is a long time, unless you're full throttle. If you're full throttle and pull it, it's instant. The downshifts are slow, the upshifts are slow, but I think it doesn't matter because this car's so fast.
You know what I normally do? To me, it's just as fun just to let it do it itself.
Yeah,
I get to hear that.
Yeah, that's why I haven't touched the paddles, because I don't even want to deal with the frustration of. I don't even want to deal with the frustration of pulling the paddle and it not happening, because I know the car's gonna do it anyway. If I floor it, you know what I'm saying? It's there every time. Every single time it's there. It's gonna upshift perfectly every single time. And like I said, it's got so much power, you don't necessarily need to play with the paddles. Like in my car, I play with the paddles because I need to keep it in the power band. This whole thing is the power band.
Right.
The whole thing. The whole thing is the power band. It's never out of the power band.
Right.
It's a clean 911. Is that a
But
clean
what if we gotta do a clutch in it?
Yes. So let's tell them what we think our perfect Corvette would be. Like, what things would you change to make this the perfect car?
The panel gap fits that. Just make the little small tweaks to the interior, just the actual quality of that. I would put a freaking dual clutch in it, and I would maybe have the engine rev a bit higher if it was possible without messing things up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think for
that,
me,
can't think of too much in it.
the interior I would leave looking just like this. But like you said, I would fix little things like the panel gap, and I would use higher quality materials. Like, one thing I like about BMW interiors is that they're simple but high quality. I wouldn't want this to look like a Benz on the inside. Like, I don't want to get in my Corvette and have like this waterfall thing in the middle. I want it to be simple but quality. So I would change that to higher quality. I'm with you. I'll make it rev a little higher just to give it a little more character. You know what I mean? Just so it's not just another V8. Give it some character. Like I always say with the M3, they shoved a high revving V8 in the car just because they could. I wish they would do a little bit something more with this, just give it a little bit more character from an engine perspective. Yeah. And last thing I would change. That screen, bro.
You got like
That screen has got to go, bro. That screen is awful. I don't know. We probably didn't show that in the walk around, but I hate the screen in this car. I don't like the quality of it. It's so dull and playful looking.
think you want smoke?
The 911. Nah, man. That Camaro for the corner, man. He like slowed down.
to sum up the review, exterior is great. Not really anything to complain about on the exterior, I don't think. I don't think there's anything to complain about anywhere on the exterior. Kudos to whoever designed it. Yes. Interior could be a little better. Panel gap. But, you know, for the people who are looking at this car,
They probably
young
don't
people,
care.
you don't care. I don't care personally. When you're going 200 miles an hour, you don't care. But it's got all your creature comforts, a lot of features, start, stop. Not start, stop, but start from a distance. And sound system sounds good and all that. Kind of didn't like the screen, but, you know, I feel like everything looks good. The air works great. The air works really great. And interior is great. Red seats, killing it. Performance-wise, cannot be touched. LT4 supercharged V8 sounds great, performs great. Can't really ask for much more except for the transmission.
Yeah. But not even the transmission, just the response of the paddles.
time. Yes, just the response time of the, because the transmission is just fast. But just the response time,
It's kind of dicey there.
yeah, it's kind of sketchy. If we can just work on that Chevy, this would be the perfect car. Oh, tunnel.
Yeah, like I said, to sum up everything that I've said driving this car, it hits all the points you care about if you're looking for this car. If you're looking for this car, you did not want S-Class interior. You did not want 911 refinement. You wanted crazy fast, looks good, sounds good. And it nails all of those. They don't hit. It gets a 10 on looks, 10 on performance, well, 9 on performance, 10 as far as sound goes.
So to sum it up, I'm going to ask you 2 questions that I think will tell the viewers, because obviously I already have the car, so y'all already know what I think. But I'm going to ask you 2 questions that I think will sum up the review.
Okay.
For your money, first of all, are you spending the 80, 90 grand on this car?
For my money, knowing me personally, I'm gonna get a 7. I'm gonna get a Cayman S. However, is this car worth 80, 90 grand? Heck yeah, all day. Like, if the Cayman S deal didn't work out, I would just go get a Z06. Simple as that. Like, I like it enough to say that if I went to get a Cayman and they were like BSing on the numbers, I would just go get a Z06 and not miss a beat.
Second question, is the Z06 worth the money over a Stingray?
Yes. Yes. Because remember that Stingray we drove, it still has the same transmission issue with the laggy paddles and all that stuff. So if you're gonna have those issues, go ahead and get the full beans as far as power goes. Like, you're gonna have to deal with the lack of refinement. You're gonna have to deal with the lack of engagement in the transmission paddle. So just freaking go ahead and get the whole guts. Like, go ahead and get the whole 650, bruh, and just have fun. Simple as that. Nobody buys a Corvette for the refinement anyway. Just go ahead and get the whole 650, bruh, and just enjoy yourself.
That's been our 2 cents. You're gonna see a lot more of it on the channel. Like I say, obviously it's my car, so we're gonna get very in-depth in it. Any questions y'all have, comment below. Once again, welcome to all the people who came because they saw Tall Guy get smoked. Welcome. Shout out to Tall Guy. And yeah, we're gonna keep it rocking. We got 5 things we love and hate about it. That's gonna come up in a couple days. We got a twin turbo Mustang coming up soon.
Twin turbo S550 Mustang GT. That
So-
we're gonna probably get some runs against the Z06 and all that stuff.
So what we need everybody to do, we're gonna wrap it up. But it's D and Cal. Sub below. We're gonna put the little end screen on. You're gonna see the circle with the no-wheel drive. Hit that if you're not subscribed, and like